So, Magnus, what do you think of Season 2 of X-Men 97?
It was wonderful, Charles. All of us really had our moment, you know?
Well, apart from Beast.
Screw you, Beast!
I liked this one much better than Season 1.
I wouldn't go that far.
Come again?
The season was good, sure, but it kind of peaked in the middle, then fell a little flat at the end. I won't stand for this slander, Magnus. Each episode was superb. Shall we review them all?
You read my mind.
All right, Episode 1. We're in the future with Jean, Scott, and Nathan. Turns out Nathan is sort of a messiah-like figure who has been prophesied to destroy Apocalypse, though Scott and Jean would rather just forcefully take their son back to the past.
Kidnapping children? I've taught them well.
You see, the problem with this episode is that the emotional weight of it really rests on Nathan and his parents' relationship. But we don't know a thing about Nathan. We know he becomes Cable, sure, but Nathan? We're expected to feel something as he grows closer to his parents and becomes more familiar with his powers. But I don't even know the kid.
You're telling me you didn't tear up during that scene on the train where Scott and Jean tell him how much they love him?
No! Instead of telling me about their relationship, they should show it. I mean, what have we seen them do together as a family? Walk through the desert, then instantly lose to Apocalypse's Epstein bots?
Yes, it was somewhat embarrassing seeing my top students lose to a man with a drum.
Your mother's psychic powers are unrivaled. My optic blasts are unstoppable. Poppycock!
Well, you have to admit Storm channeling the power of the sun was pretty cool, right?
How did she even do that? It takes light 8 minutes to travel from the sun to Earth. Yet she can draw power from it instantly.
Let's not turn this into another physics lecture, Magnus.
Then when they finally breach Apocalypse's fortress, he's just gone and left. There wasn't even a fight.
All 4 summers might have given him quite the challenge.
4?
Forget I said that.
So I'm not really a fan of this opening episode. I mean, the pacing's all off. We go from Nathan being the chosen one to getting captured to finding out who his parents are to unlocking his powers to becoming the Messiah. There's a lot of physical and emotional development happening here in a short time. It just feels rushed. Nathan is clearly pivotal to the plot, but I feel like I hardly know him. I don't actually care about him. This story might have worked if he was given more time and his relationship with his parents was fleshed out more. I sort of feel like we're just blitzing through it so we can hop back to the present and past stories. Maybe cutting the narrative into thirds like this wasn't such a great idea.
Okay, but you've got to admit the music and action were pretty darn cool. Like, did you see that part where Wolverine destroys his bone claws because he attacked that robot horseman so hard? Subtle things like that make it so darn cool.
Agreed, but story-wise, I'm not really feeling it. Episode 1 gets a 6 out of 10.
You really are a bastard, Magnus.
Well, I can't say things get any better, because now we're on to Episode 2, a Jubilee episode.
Pretty bold putting her front and center this early on.
Cable and his X-Force recruit her in Sunspot, trying to track down Apocalypse. Then the X-Men and X-Force get into a fight with X-Factor.
How exciting!
But before that, they find one of Apocalypse's horsemen, tie him to a tree, and shoot him in the head.
Very Black Ops of Cable.
Which Jubilee gets mad about, but for the wrong reasons. Like war has killed countless people, so clearly he deserves to die. But he obviously knows things. He has valuable information.
Well, Psylocke tried to penetrate his mind, but it was sealed off. Though, honestly, that's never stopped me.
Yeah, she only tried once. Then Cable decides war needs to die. You'd think Cable would try harder to get information out of him. What happened to some good old-fashioned torture?
The man has green skin and a bowl cut. What further torture could we inflict?
Speaking of green, we're introduced to my super cool daughter, Polaris. She easily defeats the X-Force since she inherited my totally fair and balanced mutant power.
She's no Wanda, but she'll do.
I mean, if you're a Jubilee fan, you'll love this episode. It was nice seeing her have her big moment, freeing all the mutants X-Factor had imprisoned, beating up all those nobody prison guards on her roller skates.
Wheels do offer a considerable tactical advantage.
But let's not kid ourselves. This episode was basically filler. What actually happened? Cable assembles a team, and that team are now national fugitives. It could have been done in 5 minutes.
Don't forget about the future X-Men being sent back to the present.
Yeah, I expected the future plot to last more than 1 episode. That also felt like a waste of time. Pardon the pun. Episode 2 gets a 5 out of 10.
That seems a little unfair, Magnus, but now we're on to episode 3.
At last! The first actually good episode of the season. You and I have been trapped in 3000 BC for months. And I'm rocking a sick beard.
I see your facial hair and raise you my impeccably groomed eyebrows.
We've met En Sabah Nur, or just Nur for short. The mutant who will become Apocalypse. Right now he's leading an army of slaves in their fight against Pharaoh, who is actually the time-traveling King the Conqueror.
Seems we weren't the only ones trying to kill Apocalypse in the past. Great minds, eh?
Actually, I convince you that Nur isn't so bad. He's not the immortal madman yet. And with my coaching, he never will be.
Yeah, that's not quite true, Magnus. Your plan sucked, because guess what happened? By the end of the episode, Nur hates us and wants to kill us.
Well, that's only because he found out we were hoarding all the robot parts from Kang's army. He was just worried we were going to abandon him.
I can't believe I let you convince me that you saw destiny for Nur. That he could have been the first X-Man.
What can I say? You inspire me, Charles. I'm just like you, but with a morally grey twist.
So, you mean you're just like me, then?
Besides, we totally deserve the hate we got from Nur at the end. I mean, he found out we were just using him to get the parts to rebuild our time machine, which isn't totally incorrect. From his point of view, we never actually wanted to help him overthrow Kang. I mean, we stopped his Sandstormer army from taking Kang's cities and freeing their brethren. Yet we were hoarding Kang's technology to free ourselves from the past. Even our idea of turning Nur into the first X-Man is kind of selfish, as it is only to benefit our future, and not Nur's present. Nur's present doesn't need a gentle X-Man. They need a liberator to tear down Kang the Pharaoh.
If you felt this way, then why did you mentor him to show mercy to others?
So that he could join the Brotherhood. I'd be crazy to not try to swap out Toad for Apocalypse.
Well, thankfully, after Nur felt betrayed by us and attacked, Bishop came in to save the day. He was secretly one of Nur's men. He kills a bunch of the slaves who are trying to free themselves.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up when you think about it. Anyway, this episode was awesome. The struggle between my relationship with Nur and the X-Men was interesting throughout. Nur is surprisingly sympathetic and human. We actually want him to win and understand his frustration with us at the end. It all just develops really naturally, and every scene is focused and serves a purpose.
And don't forget about that part where Nur threw that huge elephant. That was bonkers!
Bonkers indeed! And it even ends with a cliffhanger, where Kang nukes the mountain we were all fighting in. Did we die? Who knows?
Cliffhangers are cliches for a reason.
I give episode 3 a 9 out of 10.
And now we jump into episode 4. Hypothetically speaking, of course, since I'm crippled.
Yes, it turns out I used my powers to save the X-Men from Kang's nuke. But not Nur's friends who are all dead, including the man who raised him.
There's no way Nur will turn into Apocalypse now.
Yeah, he kind of attacks us again, and your telepathy doesn't work on him because he's angry.
Well, I didn't want to alter the timeline too much, you know.
But then you told him we were all from the future.
Well, I didn't want Nur to kill us all, you know.
Whatever. Your honesty pacifies him. Then, after reaching into his mind, we journey towards a magic space temple.
Yes, you didn't exactly leave us much of a choice after destroying Bishop's time-traveling devices.
The magic space temple will solve all our problems, Charles. Don't worry. Anyway, we reached the temple, but it's actually the spaceship which Apocalypse used in our timeline.
What's Egyptian for red flag?
Then Nur goes into the throne room, observes the hieroglyphics on the walls depicting the future, showing his transformation to Apocalypse, and battles with the X-Men. Then he battles the X-Men.
I'm not sure why he felt betrayed by this. His reasoning is that he knew he was to become a god and that we tried to take it from him. But we literally walked him right to the throne room. If anything, we're helping him become Apocalypse.
Our plan is going about as bad as it possibly can. Yor has basically gone full evil and is trying to get into the Celestial Chamber, and your X-Men do absolutely nothing to stop him.
So now it's my X-Men, is it?
Well, you had Nightcrawler there, and all he did was teleport Yor a few feet away. Rogue was there, and she didn't even try to touch him. You were there and you refused to use your telepathy.
And why didn't you stop him?
Because he headbutted me, then flung me away like a baby.
Magnus be like, "Ow, my head!"
Though this might actually be for the best, because the Magic Space Temple God thing says that Apocalypse's existence is actually for the better of the world, as that is how civilization will thrive and grow. To crush upon the eternal shore, as it were. So basically, this God thing is promising a life of slavery, but a different kind, where you have to be hated for eternity. So really, your becoming Apocalypse was the morally correct option.
Your definition of morally correct is remarkably flexible.
Magnets, bitch! Anyway, Apocalypse's ship, which is lazily called Ship, creates a black hole to destroy Egypt. I stop it like the hero I am. Then I fall, exhausted in the desert, right beside you, so that you have front row seats for my execution.
I'm glad you used the laser cannon instead of the drill. Let's just put it that way.
You know what's remarkable, Charles? You become more articulate the angrier you get. After he kills me, you're all like, "How wise was your mother abandoning you? Do you think she sensed your vile nature?"
Magnus, please, you're making me blush.
That's probably just the sunburn from holding my helmet literally all day and night in the desert.
Why didn't I freeze to death? Because shut up!
This episode was spectacular. It brilliantly completed Apocalypse's origin. It gives us a real reason to fear and hate him. The X-Men have a big flashy fight, but the smaller scale emotional ending is far more impactful. We actually care about this villain now. We understand Cable's hate for him. We want to see him lose. We want to see me avenged. We want to give you a hug, Charles.
Please don't. I haven't showered for several months.
Episode 4 gets a 10 out of 10! This is the big Apocalypse confrontation that we needed. This is what Season 2 is all about.
And now we're on to Episode 5, which is filler.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush here. This is just a Wolverine horror flick. It's cool, I guess, but ultimately it serves little purpose.
In the interest of time, shall we give it a 4?
That is all filler deserves.
I'm sure no one's upset by that decision. Anyway, on to Episode 6.
Okay, this one does little to advance the plot as well, but boy, is it good.
You're just saying that since it stars your daughter, Polaris.
Daddy loves all of his children, except Pietro. Screw you, Pietro!
It starts off with me reliving my trauma over and over again in the danger room for some reason. I refer to it as a therapeutic exercise.
God help the pupils under your care.
Yes, I'm afraid my little torture room develops a mind of its own and tries to kill my students. Have you seen my students, by the way? Here's a picture of them.
A brain in a jar, green alien fungus, jelly skeleton, and I thought the Brotherhood were ugly.
Danger killing them would be a mercy, really, but for some reason, after gaining sentience, she hops in a jet and tries to kill me.
Good thing you keep that gun in the arm of your chair, eh, Charles?
Actually, I now have lasers in the base of my chair.
Based!
Danger is insanely strong, though. We're kind of all going to die until Polaris shows up. I give her some of my memories of you so that she can channel her inner Magneto, which lets her destroy Danger in a big flashy moment and also grow closer to you, too, tying everything together in a neat little story.
Like I said, this episode does little to advance the plot, but man, was it cool. The Danger Room going haywire is an interesting premise, and the ending was surprisingly emotional, given how little time we've spent with Polaris. She really carries the weight of this episode, and she does it so beautifully.
Danger also defeats Hank in a single blast, which was very satisfying to watch.
Would it be amiss to rank it an 8, Charles?
I was thinking 7, but sure, Let's go with 8.
Fantastic! And now we're on to episode 7, which is a Nightcrawler episode.
Yeah, I don't think this one made a lot of sense. Basically, Creed is a mutant-hating presidential candidate, and he gets kidnapped by a new group called the Acolytes of Magneto.
Love the branding.
But Creed is also the half-brother of Kurt, since they share a mother in Mystique. So Kurt meets up with the Acolytes to try to free Creed, but they don't want to let him go. So Kurt suggests they hold a trial to prove Creed's innocence, which the Acolytes agree to for some reason. And Colossus will be the judge in the trial, who is absolutely not impartial, considering he's a former X-Man.
Yeah, Kurt's the defense and the Exodus guy is the prosecution, right?
Correct. Exodus hates Creed because Creed hates mutants. The point of the trial is to prove that Creed's soul can still be redeemed, which sounds a bit ridiculous. I mean, how do you even prove that? Anyway, Exodus argues that Creed created a virus which kills mutants, and that mutants should punish him for this. And Nightcrawler argues that Creed has big daddy issues in Sabretooth, and that he doesn't hate mutants, he just hates his parents.
There wasn't time to hate your parents in the camps.
Colossus is about to pass his judgment, but Exodus goes crazy and starts attacking everyone. Then Creed gets free and shoots Exodus. Then Nightcrawler teleports Creed into the Arctic. The end.
We can all agree that Creed deserved to die, right? I mean, he proved he's a killer right there and then at the end of the trial. Not like we needed more proof, but still.
As a religious man, Kurt should understand that only God can forgive Creed's sins. He is beyond the forgiveness of mortals. He should have been executed.
Halls, I sure hope I'm not rubbing off on you too much.
Nonsense! I was always like this. I'm just very good at making people think otherwise.
So yeah, the trial was kind of dumb, but I guess it was interesting. 6 out of 10.
Next up is episode 8, an evil Gambit episode.
Can't this filthy Frenchman just stay dead?
Magnus, please don't be rude. He's Cajun.
You know, what confused me about this episode was how overpowered Gambit is. Like, I know Apocalypse is living within his consciousness and buffing him and whatnot, but evil Gambit is way stronger than Apocalypse. I mean, he easily captures Rogue, turns Nightcrawler evil in a single touch, and then evil Nightcrawler, in turn, beats literally all of the X-Men with his fast teleporting and punches. He's far more competent than regular Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that Gambit buff needs nerfed.
The episode advances the plot, which is nice. I mean, we all want to kill Apocalypse, and turns out he's living within Gambit's mind, which you go into for a telepathic battle.
Did you see my big samurai knight armor? I'm cool, right?
But I can't help but feel I got a bit clickbaited. That scene with all the X-Men coming out of the jet ready for a scrap ultimately leads nowhere. There was no big fight. It was just you going into Gambit's mind to render him unconscious.
I think a 7 out of 10 is fair.
Agreed. And now, the finale.
Yes, it really picks up where the last one left off. Gambit is unconscious, Apocalypse is in his mind, Cable wants to kill Apocalypse, so naturally, Cable wants to kill Gambit.
But not just him. The X-Force too, and the X-Factor. They want to fight the X-Men in the X-Corp building, no less.
You can't say our branding isn't consistent.
I'm just going to be honest, though. This is not the big finale I expected. I wanted everyone to unite in their battle against Apocalypse, the true villain of this season. But instead, we have 2 superhero teams duking it out.
Well, Apocalypse shows up at the end in the form of giant evil Gambit.
Yes, but there's no fight. He just swings his scythe and mind controls everyone. Then Super Celestial Rogue comes flying down and beats him in a single touch.
Yes, I suppose in terms of final fights, there really wasn't a back and forth.
I mean, it's a cool episode, don't get me wrong. It was the scale of a finale, and the twist at the end with Nightcrawler sacrificing himself to save Rogue was very touching and in character. But it felt strangely disappointing. I wanted the kind of confrontation we had in episodes 3 and 4, where we actually fought Apocalypse, not just watch him get one-tapped.
I suppose a big fight with Apocalypse was kind of what the season was promising.
I'll give episode 9 6 out of 10 to be kind, but I feel like this season promised so much more. Episode 1 felt barely necessary, Cable's origin story wasn't really needed, and there were like I don't know, 4 filler episodes.
Episodes 2, 5, 6, and 7, you mean? Calling them filler sounds a bit cruel. Apart from episode 5, of course, which was the definition of filler.
Like, don't get me wrong, none of it's bad. It just sort of feels weird when the strongest episodes were so early in the season. I guess it's hard to write a big, epic final fight when you have so many characters, which is why the simpler you and I versus Apocalypse in episode 4 was so impactful. You could be with us and feel our pain and desperation and the menace of Apocalypse more, instead of this grand finale superhero slop battle.
Oh, we're gonna get some hate for that.
If I were writing the finale, I'd have completed the promise of episode 1. Cable, Scott, and Jean versus Apocalypse. It's really Cable's story after all. Like maybe they're fighting and losing, then Jean uses the Phoenix Force in a heroic moment, but somehow still loses, and everything seems utterly hopeless. Then you can introduce super shiny celestial rogue to save the day if you want. As it is, I don't really feel any satisfaction with Apocalypse's loss. I mean, he just got trapped in a jewel. Is this the expected payoff after my heroic death? A goddamn jewel? I just feel a little empty, you know?
The finale was good. Everyone had their moment, but yes, I agree the big X-Men versus Apocalypse battle the season seemed to promise didn't really happen. Instead, it focuses on X-Men fighting X-Force and X-Factor, which feels like the wrong conflict, and some episodes were disconnected from the plot and unfocused. But overall, it was enjoyable. Better than season 1?
I suppose we could review that, if people are interested.
You're both ridiculous.
Whatever do you mean, Scott?
Your rankings! Episode 3, 4, and 6? You gave the best scores to the episodes you appear most in.
I was dead in episode 6.
The whole episode was about your daughter's relationship with you. It was a Magneto episode.
Now, to be fair, Scott, I was in it a lot too.
I mean, is this review even serious? Is this all just a joke?
I think we raised a few valid points.
Which episode was your favorite?
Episode 1, duh.
This boy is crazy.
If people are this dumb, maybe we should just review season 1.
No one wants that.
Say the line, Magnus.
Nuking the seasons!